Welcome to the Anisumo channel. Today you're watching the second part of the summary of a romance-themed shonen with a slice of life vibe, supernatural elements, insomnia, and sharp canines. If you haven't seen part 1, the link is in the description and pinned comment. Don't forget to turn on subtitles and let's get into it. That girl who suddenly showed up in the last video has our protagonist's communicator watch, so he asks her why she's wearing it. She seems confused by the question but says she didn't throw it away because he was the one who gave it to her. Now he's the one who doesn't understand anything. What does she mean he gave it to her? She continues, explaining that after they were put in different classes in 6th grade and stopped talking, she missed him and waited for his call, which never came. She figured he had forgotten about her and moved on. But since he's been skipping school a lot lately, she decided to press the button to check on him. She was shocked when she heard the other watch so close by. Yamori can't hold back and asks if he really gave her the watch. She says no, but that he left it on top of her mailbox. She has no idea that Yamori didn't even know she lived there. While he's trying to figure out how to explain this, she says she's glad to know he's doing okay. After all, she was worried, as a friend. By now, Yamori is sweating nervously, but she keeps going, thanking him for the watch. Since he was always a quiet guy, she wasn't sure if he considered her a friend, but when she saw the watch, she had no doubts. Our guy can only think about how deep he's gotten into this misunderstanding and tries to explain, but all that comes out is, it's been a while, huh? After coming down, he finally realizes she's wearing a school uniform, but it's 4 a.m. So he asks what she's doing at school so late. She replies that it's not late, it's early. She always wakes up early because she likes taking walks before class. She asks if they can meet again tomorrow at the same time, but we don't see what Yamori says. Apparently, he returns to Nazuna's place just to tell her that he found out he actually does have a friend, even if it's just one. Nazuna, shocked that he woke her up just to say that, tells him to get lost. Next, we see Yamori getting dressed while Nazuna teases that he's been heading out earlier than usual. He tries to brush it off by saying it's already 3:30, but she presses on, accusing him of being the kind of guy who does the deed and dips. Naturally, the guy gets embarrassed, and Nazuna, sensing something, says she knows he's been sneaking off to see someone else. Yamori is flustered, and now it's Nazuna's turn to look dumbfounded. She was just joking, not expecting there to actually be someone else. She's speechless as he stumbles over his excuses and leaves in a hurry. He meets up with his friend at a playground.
Akira! Yo.
They just sit there, not talking much. Yamori starts to remember how cheerful and talkative Akira used to be. He asks if she actually enjoys hanging out with him. She says she really does, and a thought creeps into his head. He thinks he might be wrong, wants to be wrong, but feels like maybe she likes him. Like, romantically. He's lost in thought when he notices someone suspicious approaching, and it's none other than our favorite vampire. She gets closer, saying now everything makes sense. Akira is startled. It looks like Nazuna's about to wreck Yamori, but she's actually just here to mess with him, calling him a sleazebag for sneaking off with another girl. Akira asks if she's someone he knows, but Nazuna interrupts, saying there's no need to worry, their relationship is purely physical. It's not exactly a lie, but said like that, it sounds wrong. Now Akira's concerned he might be in something shady. In the mess of explanations, she realizes they call each other by their first names. She says, "Oh, I see now," in a tone of quiet defeat. "You like her? That's nice." And now Nazuna's the one embarrassed, saying Akira's got it all wrong. Nazuna tells Akira not to look away, because she's about to show what they really do. Akira runs through every emotion imaginable as Ko yells at Nazuna not to do this in front of his friend, but it's already too late. Cut to the three of them at a diner. Akira is very concerned, asking all sorts of questions. She didn't buy the vampire story and wants to know if all this has anything to do with him quitting school. Yamori explains that he used to enjoy school, but one day it just started to feel boring, so he stopped going. Akira says she finds school boring too, but she still goes. He should be more responsible. She finishes by saying school would be more fun with both of them there. Nazuna doesn't seem to like that. The mood shifts. She asks where Akira was all this time. If she likes him, why didn't she call before? But before Akira can respond, Nazuna just leaves, sticking them with the bill. Yamori follows her after dropping some money on the table. He asks if she's mad. She says no, but she's clearly not talking to him properly. So he keeps pushing until she finally snaps, swears at him, and storms off. He doesn't understand why she's suddenly so angry but runs after her, only to find she's disappeared. He wanders the city, searching until sunrise. He trips on some stairs, wipes his mouth, and remembers his phone. He calls Nazuna, and to his surprise, she answers. He immediately apologizes. She asks why. He's not sure but guesses it's because he was secretly hanging out with a girl. Nazuna says it's not about that, she's happy he made a friend. Yamori apologizes again, explaining that he's not good at social stuff and doesn't know what to do when people fight. He begs her to tell him what's wrong, he wants to make up. Then Nazuna appears in front of him. She asks why he didn't answer Akira right away when she invited him back to school. She's a bit embarrassed but admits that's what upset her. He reassures her, saying he just didn't know how to tell a human friend that he's planning to become a vampire. That works. Nazuna calms down, then notices he's bleeding. She pulls him close and drinks from his mouth. She comments that he called Akira a human friend, so that must mean she's his vampire friend. Smiling, she walks off, saying, "See you tomorrow, friend." But Yamori thinks to himself, friends don't kiss each other out of nowhere. Episode 05. In the next scene, Akira is in class when the teacher wakes up a student who's been dozing off. The teacher scolds him, saying people are supposed to sleep at night. That once you're an adult, you'll be forced to stay awake whether you like it or not, so better enjoy having a healthy sleep cycle while you're young. Akira goes home with a blank expression. She says, "I'm home," but no one replies. She goes through her usual routine, showering, brushing her teeth, and by 8:30 p.m., she's already in pajamas and going to bed. At the same moment she closes her eyes, Yamori opens the door to his place, thinking he's gotten way better at sneaking out than before. He's still thinking about the kiss from the other night when he notices Nazuna already waiting for him at their usual hangout spot. But tonight, he's not really in the mood to see her just yet. He hasn't figured out how to act around her since that kiss. He starts overthinking and eventually concludes, when lips touch, that's definitely a kiss. And people only kiss when they're in love. His heart races, and he decides he must be in love with the vampire. He's all giddy when Nazuna arrives, clearly annoyed she couldn't find him earlier. Feeling proud, he confidently tells her he's fallen for her and is ready to become a vampire. But when she bites him, nothing happens. Yamori suspects Nazuna tricked him, but she explains it's simply because he's not in love. She says it's probably just lost his feeling after the kiss. Yamori starts putting things together and feels super embarrassed for mistaking excitement for love. He admits it was his first kiss. Nazuna confesses it was hers too, but says he's misunderstanding things. Kissing is something friends do too. Cut to Akira, who suddenly wakes up. She's frustrated to find it's still nighttime and realizes she's been having trouble sleeping lately. She goes out for a walk, and we see the opening scene of the episode replay. She and Yamori talk about how weird it is to be out this late. One thing leads to another, and Ko invites her to Nazuna's place. The three hang out playing video games. Nazuna, of course, keeps teasing the two teens and even casually claims that she and Yamori kiss all the time. Akira clearly feels uncomfortable but tells Ko she wants to support him, just not with this obscene monster. Nazuna keeps poking fun, acting innocent, and says Ko doesn't even like her that way. Later, she suggests they all get some sleep since it's late. The three end up squeezing into a tiny sleeping space. Akira's clearly not at ease. She says she's heading to school early. There are only 2 hours until it opens anyway. But Nazuna points out it's raining and she doesn't have an umbrella, so maybe she should wait a bit. While Akira watches the rain, Nazuna sneaks in a quick blood-sucking session with Ko. Akira then asks again about this whole vampire thing. Ko tells her he's decided he wants to become a vampire someday. She doesn't take it too seriously but keeps asking questions, and he explains he has to fall in love with Nazuna to make it happen. Nazuna, flustered by all the talk about romance, tells everyone to just go to sleep. Akira still looks uncomfortable and says she'll leave as soon as the rain stops. Nazuna pretends to sleep, and Akira and Ko start whispering. Ko apologizes for dragging her into all this but says since she was worried, he wanted to show her what his nights were like, that it's nothing bad. He also asks if her knowing he wants to become a vampire bothers her. She says no, it's not something that would ruin their friendship. Noticing his arms crossed tensely, she tells him to relax or he won't be able to sleep, and that it's okay if their hands touch. She turns her back to him and says even if he becomes a vampire, she'll still call on him to go to school. Then she says goodnight. As she lies there, she realizes it's been ages since she said goodnight to someone. She feels happy. While wondering how long the rain will last, she finally drifts off. She wakes up in a panic. She's overslept. Nazuna appears and asks if she slept well. She says that people need to feel satisfied with their waking hours to be able to sleep peacefully, and asks if Akira feels satisfied. Akira doesn't respond out loud, but as she walks down the street, a soft smile appears on her face as she thinks to herself, I think I do. Now it's Nazuna's turn to wake up. But when she checks the clock, it's only 4:35 p.m. For her, that feels like she barely slept at all. She gets up to play some video games. At first, it's fun. She even gets excited talking to herself, but she loses and starts rage quitting, blaming the game item. She remembers a package she was expecting and heads to check the mailbox. Even though she selected a specific delivery time, they came in the morning while she was asleep and left nothing. It feels like nothing's going right. It's still only 8 p.m. She considers doing laundry or cleaning, but ends up just turning on the TV. Unfortunately, it's one of those annoying infomercials. Fed up with being home, she heads out, hoping a miracle will happen. And a kitten appears. She walks up and starts petting it. They play together for a while, but when it's time to leave, she realizes her hands stink, like really stink. She decides to hit a public bath. She tells the attendant to let her know when the alarm goes off. Not long after she gets in the water, the alarm rings and she rushes out before the guy even gets the chance to say anything. Outside, Ko barely recognizes her. She's wearing her hair down. He's caught off guard by her new look and starts to feel even more attracted to her than usual. He reflects on how lately he's been experiencing all these intense emotions. Nighttime is fun, but being that emotionally charged all the time is kind of exhausting. Out of nowhere, he asks Nazuna to suck his blood. He explains, to himself, that he's discovered two benefits to having his blood sucked. First, it calms him down and helps him sort out his thoughts. Second, it helps him confirm whether or not he's really in love with Nazuna. Lately, with all the time they've spent together, he's starting to get tricked by his own brain. They're on top of a bridge chatting when Nazuna mentions she already fed on some random guy who walks by below. Yamori gets a little jealous, but she reassures him. Now, she only drinks his blood. He asks how she used to get people to bite before she met him. She explains that she used to work as a professional cuddler, a common service in Japan where people pay to talk, hug, or just sleep beside someone. Just sleep. Nothing else. Yamori accuses her of offering something more, but she shows him a printed menu of her services and offers to let him try it out. It's all pretty tame stuff, so he chooses a massage. He's a bit shy at first but slowly starts to relax. They talk about how the massage helps with blood circulation and how it puts clients to sleep, which is when she would have her meal. Nazuna's about to go in for a bite when, ding dong, someone rings the doorbell. Don't forget to subscribe to catch the next episode. See ya!